Oh my
Nobody
god.
multi-grouping.
I like how everyone's trying to justify it, right? There's three groups of rogues. We're all killing the non-rogue players because we're all looking for our rogue status. We don't benefit from killing other rogues. So technically, by definition, we're multi-grouping. But because we're not actively coordinated together, they're trying to justify it. Say, no, it's not a multi-group. Do you smell that? Do you smell my own farts? And it's like, no, dude. It's... You're multi-grouping. It's fine. But you got 20 rogue police. Like, it's justifiable. You're using a strategy. You're using your brain. Oh my god, for once in the division, we're not all on a striker build just bro-fisting. So, like, can we just be proud of the fact that we're doing something different and being forced into situations where we have to think and build and diversify our bonds? But no, everyone's like uncomfortable. They're like, I had to be conniving for once. I had to shed my dignity for a moment to take advantage of a situation. No, really. In the dark zone? In the place where there are no rules and that you guys made up a whole bunch of them to duel each other for eternity at checkpoints? No, really? I like that. I like that a lot. Do tell. Tell me how you shed your dignity and respect. I'm a big fan of 1.8.3 hashtag. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Hashtag. Thanks, Terry.
You reading this from the stream?
No, he's talking history.
I'm talking to anybody who will listen. I'll rant and rave to whoever. No stream, whatever. I'll yell at anybody who will listen. Anybody who hasn't muted me yet.
Did you watch that video saying that 1.83 was a mistake?
I stopped watching a lot of videos on 1.8.3 because they're all the same whining crybaby bullshit. And it just, I don't get it. It's the same one. It's like, I can't pop and drop. I can't striker. I hate teams. Solo is hard. And it's like, yeah, I know. Isn't it?
Yeah, one of the devs said they made a mistake with releasing at 1.8.
Yeah, I saw that too, but they also cave to the community constantly. He said he's gonna say it's a mistake because everyone is telling him it's a mistake. The community is pissed. They can't pop and drop. They can't chest bump at their fraternal orders on the weekends. Like, it's fine. And I totally get it. You know?
Well, I've not been playing that long, but to what I can gather, they just seem to be nerfing every classified gear set that's good. They're just nerfing it. Why don't they just balance all the shit ones?
Yeah.
You know, just
I mean that's the thing, but I feel like now people are starting to realize that these other builds that people have just like classified as trash because Striker was just so much better than them. Those builds are actually kind of decent if you know how to play them. You know, it's not just like some throwing Striker 9K showstopper, boop boop boop, game over. Oh shit!
Yeah, the thing was, we had a meta for a good year. I want to say a year, but it was probably more like 6 months. That was just Striker. It was Striker and Striker only. And
it was like on the better end of a year. It was like 7-8 months. It was super boring.
Yeah.
wow,
It was.
got schooled.
We didn't get school. We were in these on our menus, bro. I'm typing.
We got schooled, man.
Yeah, I was sitting here rolling a.
I just died. We did go roll. You just missed a. Ever. What up?
What are they even talking? Well, the main point is that Striker was a build that was like the Swiss Army knife of builds. You'd use it in PvE, PvP, and it could out-snipe snipers, it could out-DPS the close range builds, and then it also out-sustained all the tanks. So just anything you built by default was worse than a Striker. So it ended up being a nothing but like 50% Striker builds, and then everybody else trying stuff that didn't work as good as Striker.
Right, we just get them a man on. There's 2 Strikers and I think there's 2 Nomads.
I don't know. I personally enjoy this patch.
Ratings indicate this area is safe.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, this patch took a lot of getting used to for a lot of players because we had a huge wave of new players that came in on that 9-month stretch of Striker, right? Huge. You had the Black Friday sales, you had a huge influx from that E3 demo of Division 2. We had the sale where you could get absolutely everything for like $20, especially for PC. So all these players come in, they learn how to play the game in the Striker meta, and the Striker meta doesn't teach you jack shit about the game. All it teaches you is how to build a DPS build, right? Crit damage, crit chance, and you run a Lightweight M4 or a House. And then you also had the Showstopper, but on PC that wasn't as good. On console it was amazing, but on PC it was normally House or Lightweight M4. Lightweight M4 for snipers, House for dealing that damage up close. So, but my point being, people came into this and they learned one build. They made 5 or 6 versions of that build, and that's all they knew how to play. And they didn't learn the rest of the game, and they decided to call the rest of the game cheese, right?
Yeah.
Final Measure cheese, the D3, the Nomad, Predator. And admittedly, some of those builds are easy and straightforward, but so was Striker. But the worst part about Striker was it had everything. It had heals and damage. But that was the point of Striker. It just got misused. And with the misuse, you know, they had to do something about it. You know, you have to have simple builds for DPS, like Striker, like Predator, like Deadeye. Like, just straightforward, I'm doing damage, this is how you do damage. It's very simple, straightforward stuff. Because that's what a DPS build is. But when you're trying to do, like, skill stuff, like Firecrest, where you can build it all these sorts of different ways, you can pump out all sorts of crowd control. Those are skill power builds, and they can be very specialized in different ways. Those are for other kinds of players. So they have these diversified, varying in skill, mechanic builds, and I like that about this game. But they didn't balance them right enough. So once they made Predator, once they made the Bleed immunable, it was on par with Firecrest, because Firecrest had been in that boat ever since it came out. And then they made Striker a reasonably powerful build that healed and did damage. It's still good. You'll see people you see now people who finally took the time to learn the build who are putting out videos finally saying, oh, who said you couldn't do it? And it was the same people who said you couldn't do it. So isn't that interesting? And then you have, for solo, you have Nomad. You still have, like, all that stuff is still viable, but now you have teams. Now you have support builds. You got the D3s, the final measures. Like, you've got healer builds now. Reclaimer's making a comeback. Like, this is amazing. This is an amazing patch that does everything the game has ever had in it. Everything is here. but everyone wants to leave now. You finally get the game that they sold you. You can finally do it all. No, I just want Striker. Boo. Okay. Just kills me.
Where you guys at?
I'm under the I'm fighting the manhunts. Sorry about that. I got a little carried away there. My bad.
I had my dress for a little while, man.
I may have
Nah, don't worry about it.
I may have had that one built up for a little bit.
You were keeping my chat company, bro. Listen to the man P2, guys.
I had to get something off my chest there for a minute.
Yeah. He had a little build up there.
Sorry.
He said, look, somebody said this is speak the truth. He said cheers, man.
Cheers. I try not to let it build up like that, but
You know, everybody's scared of the guy that stays quiet, you know? You popped the blue?
yeah, I popped blue because they rolled up on me. Ooh, I'm down. Ah,
Oh.
it's okay.
Yeah, that's that late,
Don't worry about it. Fuck.
Hey, you go in without this, you're
Yeah,
dead.
we're waffling away and leaving him to die. What the-
I realized how quiet everything had gotten after I took a breath. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry I did that again.
Oh, I just started. Okay, I've been growing my hair. It's probably like it's right here. Let me see. I can't see myself. My hair is right here. It's probably longer than right here. My chest. I've been growing it for about, I want to say 5 years, bro.
Brock, everything's going down. It's over.